welcome back to my channel. It has been forever, but I'm not even gonna say I'm back because honestly I feel like I'm gonna be back whenever I feel like being back. Right now I'm going to try and be as consistent as I can, but don't hold me up to it because I've said it many times. Anyway, moving on. So welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're an old subscriber, welcome back. So today I am going to show you guys how I achieve my neutral brown neutral makeup look. It's a neutral full face. However, you can make it bold if you need to, and it could be neutral if you need to. So we're gonna jump right into the video. My face has already been prepped. I've washed it, moisturized it, serum, all of that. So the next step that I do after that, since we are in the summer and we all like for our makeup to stay on for a very long time during the summer because it's hot, I go ahead and I set my face. Actually, I lied. Wow. I go ahead. I lied, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. Let me get my primer. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. You can use whatever primer that you have. I am going to use the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer. You could use a matte primer. You could use whatever you want. Right now, this is what I have on hand. I'm going to go ahead and put a few pumps in my hand. And I'm going to apply that all over my face like so. So once that is done, I'm going to go in with my powder. This is the ABH Cosmetic Setting Powder. ABH is Anastasia Beverly Hills, just in case you didn't know. I'm going to dust this off. And then I'm just going to press the powder into my skin. The powder is just going to mattify my face. If you have a matte setting powder, you can go ahead and use it. Whatever powder that you have or that you like, you can go ahead and set your whole face. Okay, so once my face is set, I'm going to go in with my foundation. You can use whatever foundation that you have. It's your choice. It's your preference. Do you? But I'm using this matte foundation, and this is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation, and I use the shade Angola. So the Juvia's Place foundation, as you guys may know already, is very full coverage. A little bit goes a very long way. So what you want to do is you want to start off with a little bit. I feel like this is even too much. I feel like this is too much. But you start off with a little bit, and then you add more if you need to. When I first got the foundation, I remember when it first came out, I have a video on my channel. I was reviewing it, and I didn't know that a little bit, went a long way. And I took a lot, like a chunk, and it was just a waste of foundation. So this is my perfect shade. As you guys can see, it looks like I'm not putting anything on, but I am putting foundation on, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and blend that into my skin. You can use a sponge or you can use a brush, whatever works for you. I am patting this into the skin. I'm not dragging, I am patting, okay? Look at that. Foundation, no foundation. You can't even tell. One other way to apply your foundation so that it is even out is you want to start off from your cheeks and then blend it down. So whatever is left on the brush is what you're using to come down. So instead of starting from here with a lot of foundation and going up and then leaving just this, I don't even know what to call it. Like, it just looks a hot mess, an unblended foundation line over here. You start off from the top and then you just bring it down. This helps blends everything in. Whoop, there it is. Whoop. Look at the coverage. So this is a full coverage foundation. So I start off really small and then build it up to how much I want. Like if you go in with a lot, it's just going to look caked up. It's too hot for all that. So once that is done, I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm going to go ahead and wet my sponge and then come back. Okay, so I am back with my sponge. It is wet, it is damp, it is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my concealer. I'm using the Dose of Color concealer. This is the shade Deep, the number 26. I've never used it before, so I hope that it delivers, okay? Because this is a natural, neutral look, I don't want to do too much. So I'm going to apply a little bit of concealer. Wow. Okay. Wow, this is full coverage. It's not showing like it's supposed to on the camera, but this is, wow. Okay, so once I have the concealer on, I'm going to start off from my under eye. Since I've never used it before, I don't know how fast this is going to dry, and I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. Originally, I was going to use the sponge, but I want to go in with the brush first, and I'm just going to pat it in right under my eye. Wow. Okay, so this dries really quick. Let me move on to this side. This dries really fast, y'all. Like, but the coverage is beautiful. So I'm just going to blend that in a little bit. When it comes to blending out your concealer, honestly, you could do whatever works for you. I'm going to go ahead and blend this out a little bit with the sponge after the brush. Pat it in, make sure that it is blended perfectly. It's there, but it's not there. So I'm going to go in with this Maybelline New York concealer, and this is the shade, what shade is this? 50. So this is the shade 50. Again, I've never used this. Don't know how it's going to look. We're trying it out. Okay, this is much better and much lighter. Ooh, why does that burn? So this burns a little. I don't know if that's a normal thing. So if you've used this and you felt this, please let me know in the comment section below. You would think that I will stop using it since it's burning, but I've used a couple concealers where they sting for a little bit, but after a while, I no longer feel it, so that's why I guess I'm still using it. But please, if you use this and if you feel some type of way, please stop. Don't go and say, Maddie kept using it, so me too, I'm going to keep using it. I don't want no problems. Looking crazy, but you have to trust the process. So I'm going to go back in and I am going to blend this out. Hopefully it works out, because if it don't, wahala day. Oh, I love it. And with the brush, you kind of have more control of where the product is going, of where the concealer is going, versus using the sponge. With the sponge, if you're not careful, you end up making a big mess all over your face, especially if you're not good with makeup. You know, if you're starting off, you tend to make a mess when you're using the sponge, because it's huge and you're not able to control the placement. But with the brush, you kind of have an idea of where the product is going and you know how to control it. I'm going to go in with my sponge and I'm just going to lightly dab this, like I'm very gently, very gently, gentility. Inside gentility, outside crying. No, it's outside gentility, inside crying. I'm going to go ahead and just dab it so it is blended to perfection, or to my liking, because my liking may not be perfection, okay? You know, like when you're doing your makeup and then you get this itch that you want to scratch, but then you don't want to scratch it because you don't want to mess up what's going on your face. That's how I'm feeling right now. So it just seems like I'm using all new products today. So for contouring, usually I use the Juvia's Place foundation stick in the shade Congo, but today I'm going to use the ABH cream bronzer, and this is in the shade Chestnut. Looks like the chestnut is giving everything that it's supposed to. I'm going to take the cream bronzer. I did kind of swatch it. I'm going to dab my brush in there like so. Oh, wow. I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Wow. Okay, y'all. So I just realized that my battery for the microphone went out. So I was just talking. I don't know where I left off or where. I don't know what happened. So anyways, let's get back into the video. So once I've gone ahead and set the whole face with the powder, I'm going to go ahead and bake. And so again, using the same powder, I'm going to take my sponge. I am going to collect some of this product. I'm going to take it and I am going to press it into... I'm going to press this into the skin right under my eye. That's my main focus. And guys, I just dropped the powder on the floor. So I'm going to take some of the same powder and... So I'm going to take some of the powder and apply it right under my chinny chin chin. Chinny chin chin. And then we're going to do the forehead area. Okay, so at this point your face is probably feeling really dry, like it's like, you know, you want to move it but you can't because it feels really dry, and that's fine. We're going to dust off the excess powder. So once all this is done, we're going to move on to the eyebrows that I am definitely about to do off camera, because again, my brows are not done, so it's probably going to take me a while to figure it out. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be done. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I did my brows. I figured it out somehow. It doesn't look like it would normally look on the regular basis if my eyebrows are done, but this will do. So moving on to the lid part, right? And this is kind of like the fun part for me. You're going to take whatever palette that you would use as a contour palette or a bronzer palette, whatever bronzer palette that you have. You're going to take that palette, or if you have a neutral palette, I know that Juvia's Place has a neutral palette, Colored Raine, all these, but a lot of brands have a palette where the colors are just browns and neutrals. But I like to use my contour bronzer palette just because I feel like it's convenient. And if I was to be going anywhere, instead of packing a palette and a bronzer, I could just take the contour palette and use it for everything. So I'm going to take this palette and I am going to grab this shade up here. I am going to dust off the excess and I'm literally just going to pat it into my lids. Wow, that was tough. I'm basically just setting the concealer. So once the concealer has been set with the color on the top, I'm gonna go in with the shade at the bottom and add some type of definition to the lid. I'm gonna grab the darker shade right here. With this one, you want to be very gentle. I'm gonna dust it off and lightly apply that in my crease area to kind of just define that. I don't know if you guys can see the difference. I'm going to build that up some more, just a little. I'm going to move on to the next eye. We're going to apply that right in our crease. So once that is done, I'm going to take this skin finishing powder. This is the MAC finishing powder, and this is in the shade Deep Dark. And I am going to press that into my skin and kind of just set all the other places that did not get set by the ABH powder. I'm just going to press that in. Now, taking the same powder, I am pressing in the powder that I used to set or to bake my chin. Make sure that you're pressing it in and that you're not dragging. Notice how I am leaving the under eye and then the forehead area. That's going to be the last thing that I take off. Next, I'm going to go in with my bronzer palette. I want my face to look as bronzed out as possible, if that's even a word. I'm going to use a Fenty Beauty Sun Stalker bronzer, and this is in the shade Mocha Mommy. I'm going to take this big brush, angle powdered brush. This is from Colored Raine, and I'm going to grab some of this, right? And I'm just going to apply that. Wow. Whoa. I'm just going to pat that right on my cheeks, aka contour line, aka whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to pat that in. I'm going to go in on the other side and do the same. Keep applying until I get what I want. I'ma keep adding. Don't know how I came up with this song, but I like it. I'm gonna take some more and I'm gonna go right under my chin area. Next, I'm going to go ahead and apply some blush. I'm going to use this blush palette, and this is by Juvia's Place. This is volume 1. Wow. I'm going to take this brush, and this is pretty new. Again, I'm using a lot of new stuff today, but this is definitely new. I'm going to grab some of this, dust off the excess on my hand, and then just gently smile and pat. Smile and pat. Smile and pat, pat, pat. I'm stuck. So I'm sure you guys can see the difference between this side and that side. The reason why I dust off the excess is because I don't want it to be too harsh. Like, I don't want it to have like that harsh line where you see that this is where the blush stops. So I take some off and then I just apply it until I get the coverage that I want. So I'm going to do that to the other side. Take some, dust it off, and then just gently pat it into your skin. Bring it up if you want, and because I want, I will bring it up. I'm gonna take this Shockwave neon eyeliner. I don't know how it's neon though, it's black, but we're gonna take this Shockwave neon pencil. I guess it came with the neon collection, that's why. And I'm going to line my under eye. There it is. You guys see the difference though? Like, under eye lined, under eye not lined. So these things, we might feel like, oh, it's nothing, but it's really something because they make a big difference. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other. So once I apply the under eye pencil, I'm going to go ahead and dust off the excess powder under my eye. And I'm going to use this brush. Let me show you guys what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take the Mineralizing Skin Finish powder. This is dark deep, like I said. And I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to grab some of the powder, dust it off. And then we're going to go ahead and sweep off the excess powder. I'm going to take the brush that I used for my blush, and I'm with no product on, with no other product on, whatever was left on here, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to pat it in right here to kind of blend it in. so that it doesn't look, you guys see that there's a big difference from here and here. Right here you see this harsh line and then setting. Right here I feel like it's blended in some more. I'm gonna do that for this side. Pat it in. There you go. So I am super content with how everything looks right now. I think this looks good. It's giving neutral vibes. So I'm going to go in with my highlighter. I'm going to use this one from ColourPop. This is a Super Shock highlighter. Wow. And it's called Champagne BB. You don't apply this with a brush. You use your fingers. So I'm going to take my fingers and just dab some of this. Smile. Apply. You want to be very careful because if you're not careful, it could be a lot. So again, we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Pat, 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 and then blend. Can you guys see that? Glow, glow, hello. So I'm going to take this mascara. This is by Benefit and it's the Bad Girl Bang. I am going to apply this on the lower lash line first. This is like one of my favorite lashes, y'all. So I'm sure you guys can see the difference. This is the bottom lash with mascara. This is the bottom lash without mascara. There's a big difference. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing for this side. So sometimes I find it difficult applying mascara to this side of the eye just because it's just like, you know. So what you can do is take the brush and instead of doing this, you can do it like this. So once we have the bottom lash mascara on, we're going to move on to the top. I'm going to apply that. I have lashes so the concentration, y'all, to put on mascara is crazy. Can you see that I have lashes? I have lashes, though. We're going to apply. So once this is done, you can leave it like this if you want and put some gloss on. But honestly, y'all, lashes can take your look from 0 to like 100. So we're going to go ahead and apply some lashes. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and I put my lashes on and I put some gloss on. You could put any gloss that you like on. It doesn't really matter. But this is the finished look. It's simple. It's beautiful. It's natural. You can honestly turn this into a nighttime look. And you could do that honestly by just applying gold shimmer in your inner corner and then putting on like a colorful lipstick like red, pink, purple, black, whatever you want to put on to kind of just make the whole makeup pop and you're ready to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.